Hello, welcome back to the workshop. On my past videos I've been making some random parts from my large wheel skeleton clock, but now I'm going to be making a skeleton clock from scratch and I'll be videoing it from start to finish. This is the clock I'm going to be making. It's an elegant scroll clock by John Wilding and I've been making this one for a friend. I have made one before, about 5 or 6 years ago, only this time I'm going to film the process for anyone who's interested. I'm hoping that me making this clock will inspire others to have a go. You don't need lots of tools, but you will need these. This is a mainspring winder and this is a depthing tool. But they are easy enough to make, or you can buy them, but they can be expensive. If you do decide to make your own mainspring winder, then John Wilding produced some detailed drawings in this book, The Elegant Scroll Clock. Before I start making the barrel and barrel arbor, I'll show you what I've made so far. These are the pillars and pillar washers. There's two different ways of making these. You can either do them between centres or you can do them all in one hit. But the only thing that's really important is these two faces do need to be parallel to each other and also exactly the same size on all six. Another thing to remember, these lugs here need to be slightly tapered off, otherwise you won't get the frames apart at the end. Right, well let's start making the barrel. Well, this is the drawing for the barrel and barrel arbor, so what I'll do now is get some material and then we can start. I'm going to need some brass tubing, some 3/16 for the barrel flanges and some silver steel. The only thing I need to do now is face up to length. It's important that these two faces are parallel, so I butted up against the chuck jaw to do that. So. Once you've completed the barrel, just check that the opposite faces are square to each other, because this is where the barrel flanges sit up against. So you can do this by using the clock. Next is to machine the barrel flanges. What I've done now, I put some aluminium in the chuck and I faced it off and turned the bung to suit the flange. Put that on there. What I'm doing now, I'm turning the flange to suit the barrel. That's it. Right, that's the barrel and the flanges done. Oh, there like that. That's it, they'll be fastened on with some 10BA screws. What I've done now is I've set up the rotary table to cross out one of the flanges. You don't have to cross out the flange, but I think it looks better if you can see the spring. The crossings on this flange has 5 spokes, so what I've pitched out to the right position now, and I'm going to go around and centre drill. So once I centre drill this, I'm going to index 72 degrees and then go all the way around. Well, that's what it looks like with the holes drilled. All I have to do now is mill out the crossings. Well, that's the crossing out complete. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film that because the quill blocked out the camera view. You can see the finished result anyway. You'll see it better when I put it on the bench. That's what the flange looks like crossed out. All I need to do now is drill some holes. Now I'm ready for drilling and tapping 10BA. This is where I'm up to now. I've drilled and tapped the 10BA folding on the flanges. I've put in the barrel hook and I've milled the keyhole slot, filled in the brass wire. What I've done, I've Loctited the barrel hook in, I've peened it over with this, and now I'm going to take it to the lathe and turn it back down to this diameter. Well, that's the barrel hook milled. Now that I've turned the arbor, I'm going to mill a square on the end for the ratchet wheel. Last time I made one of these clocks I made a spare ratchet wheel. I'm just going to file it out to suit the arbor. Well, that's the barrel and the barrel arbor complete. When turning the arbor, use a sharp cornered cutter. You don't want any radiuses here in the corner, it can cause a sticking point. And on the ratchet wheel, allow yourself 5 degrees undercut. Well, this is where I'm up to so far with Elegant Scroll Clock. I've done the pillars, the washers and the barrel. There's a lot of parts on this clock to make, including the fusee. So hopefully you enjoy watching this, and you'll see me on the next video on part 2. And thank you very much for watching.